Hello, everybody. Welcome to the issue 2 director's commentary for Transformers. Um, what can I say? Except that this was a super fun issue to write and to draw. I cannot wait to dive in. I have just recovered from jet lag. Um, I got back from Japan a little over a week ago, 2 Sundays ago. It took me like a solid week to get over the jet lag. So I wanted to do it right when I got back, but then Thanksgiving and wanting to sleep all the time got in the way of that. So, good evening, Absurd Victor. Hello. Um, Thank you, Aiden. Hi, Dad. Steve Johnson in the chat. Soundwave, Rudak, Jordan, Brunson, Jay, Owen. Owen, thank you very much. How do I keep making comics this good? I don't know. I'm just doing my best, so it means a lot that you feel that way. Thank you so much. Jordan, I am planning on doing a Friday with D-Dubs Japan Roundup edition. You'll have to tune in on Friday. I wanted to do a special little video where I only highlighted stuff that I did in Japan, but literally just editing it would have taken just way too long. So I'm pedal to the metal, drawing issue 5 and writing issue 7 of Transformers. So there's just no time to do a condensed video. But I can go live because all I have to do is click the button and I'm ready to rock. And I have a stack of books to show everyone. Didn't get that many toys this time, just a lot of books, a few art supplies, but more than enough to keep us occupied for about an hour on Friday. Keep an eye out for that. Hello, Johnny, Elvin, Johnny, hello from the Philippines. Oh, wow, Philippines. Hi, Johnny. Yeah, my dad's outing me. Spiky was my nickname that the nurses gave me when I was a baby. So, there you go. That's where that comes from. Kova, is this the goriest Transformers comic? I don't know. You tell me. I'm no expert. I cannot share the artist Soundwave of the new issue. I know who it is. I'm very excited about it. I think you will be too as soon as you hear the news, which I honestly don't know when that will be. Hopefully soon. Thank you, Jay. Jay thinks I'm doing a good job writing Starscream so far in the series. Well, what can I say? He's very easy to write. I just think about the most evil thing a character can do, and Starscream is usually somewhere in that ballpark. So, Spiky Johnson, all the secrets, you get them here, Victor. Welcome again to the issue 2 director's commentary. Let's get right to it, shall we? Starting off with the infamous now? I don't know if it's that. The deer scene, which I wrote in the outline of the issue 1 outline to kind of give to everybody involved, Hasbro, Skybound, an idea of where I'm taking the story and some of the beats. And this was initially totally fine, but I think maybe Hasbro read it a second time and they were very nervous about Optimus stepping on a deer, so I definitely had to fight for this one. And to be fair to Hasbro, I don't think they necessarily knew like the vibe that I was going to try and give this scene. In no way was I trying to do this for laughs or to be cheeky or in any way disrespectful to the character of Optimus Prime. I honestly felt like this is the perfect 180 contrast to Starscream in issue 1 squishing a dude. This just felt right. It felt like the perfect 1-2 of Starscream squishing and then Optimus accidentally hurting not even a human but an innocent deer and being completely wrecked. I've seen on Twitter people are having a really hard time with the fact that Optimus Prime would accidentally step on a deer when a deer would run away. I don't know. What can I say? A writer can't think of everything. So, Yes, I remember one of my editors was like, maybe he could step on a squirrel instead of a deer to keep Hasbro happy, and I was like, nope, has to be a deer. Nobody feels the way they feel when they see a dead squirrel on the side of the road versus a deer. This is also a subtle nod to one of my favorite films, The Iron Giant. It is a bit different because Optimus is directly responsible for hurting the deer, whereas the Iron Giant in the movie just sees the deer get killed. And I didn't really, with the Iron Giant, it's very much the robot in the Iron Giant is a little bit more of a baby, whereas Optimus Prime is, of course, way more like brainy and able to process things in a more advanced way that the Iron Giant was still just kind of grasping. So it is a different in tone, but it is a little subtle homage to one of my favorite robot movies. So yeah, but anyway, I definitely had to fight for this scene, and again, Hasbro, I think, had a right to be nervous. But I remember like writing like in the conversation about whether or not to do this scene. I was like, hey, I'm going to treat this with the utmost respect, and I think that this scene will be talked about as an Optimus Prime moment for a very long time to come. And I know I can pull it off. It's not like me stroking my back or whatever, inflating my own ego. I was just so confident this scene screamed out to me as one of the absolute necessary scenes in the entire series. It just had to be in there. So, yes, Max, I like how the scene builds Optimus as a character and his compassion. And it's only 2 pages, and there's barely any talking, and it just does it just quickly. It also, like, another thing I'm really into is getting the vibe of a character quickly, and this is something that does it. Yeah, sorry, Victor, no love for the squirrels. I mean, I do like squirrels, but thank you, Absurd. Thank you, Bot Boy. I really did try and make this a something to, you could like ruminate over. This, I forget what bird this is, but it is the national bird of Washington. Does anybody live in Washington know this? This is the flower, the state flower, not national, the state bird of Washington, and the state flower of Washington State. And this is just a toad that is just has no relevance to the state of Washington. It's so funny. I like was still kind of learning how to draw Optimus here, so like you can kind of see like it's a little awkward here with like his like rib area, which like I really don't like. So if I could, I would have fixed this. And his like legs are a little bulky, but it's okay. It's okay. It's about the vibe, and I feel like we got the vibe. A little bit of tone here, just a tiny bit, just to kind of keep Optimus separate from everything. And let's see if this will work. Here we go. Okay, so, and here we are again. It's so funny. Like these pages were in my head. It's like these 2 pages for the longest time, and like, is Hasbro gonna let us do this? I don't know. I'm really nervous about it. And I was like so stressed. Like, are we gonna be able to make this scene happen? And we ultimately were. And then I was like, it was time to draw it. And I remember really loving the layout, and like I thought this layout was really, really cool. These are pictures that I took that are on the script. Sometimes I will draw script on the script, little drawings, little sketches, just to kind of get on a vibe as I'm reading my own script. If I have any ideas right on the spot, I'll draw them there. And then I'm not afraid to just like take them and take a picture and like drag them into my iPad. But yeah, so I'll just like take it and add it to the Procreate file that I'm working on. So anyway, really loved the timing and everything. And then when it actually came to drawing this page, I'm like not that happy with how it came out. I think it's good. It's good. The timing is great because I followed this to the letter over here. But sometimes the execution just I know it's fine, and I really do like it, and I worked really hard on it because it's such an important scene, and I really do like this panel here. But I was still just getting used to like drawing Optimus, and I just want to be amazing at it all the time, and it's just not how it works. But the timing is solid, and I drew the heck out of these woods, even though it is a lot of noise. But there's a lot of white out here, white out on like a really ratty brush. So yeah, so let's go to the next page. This was another. So this is a page. Let's see if I can. Yes. Okay. This here is a page that I liked the timing of here. I had a lot to say in a little amount of time. So there's a lot of talking, which is why there's so much open space. This is one of my favorite panels in the whole issue. It's so chill. I love Spike's like pose here. It's just feels very perfect to me. Notice he's standing on this one, and I sometimes when you're just drawing things out on the actual page, you realize like you make these like on the fly decisions like, oh nope, Spike needs to be sitting here because it would just show he's that much more relaxed. I do really like this panel. Still figuring out how to draw Optimus's legs so that they're not awkward. It is a challenge. This is a great panel. Love this panel right here. And I love Spike's expression here. Just a lot of successes on this page. And it's like the page didn't take that long to draw because there is so much open space, but it's like oftentimes I find the most important pages emotionally that have the least amount of detail, and just you kind of have to nail things right away. It has to look natural, even though it may not take a long time. So, if things don't look right the first time, I don't like fiddling and trying to fix it. Like these strokes are pretty darn pure. I'm very happy with this. Not a lot of fiddling, although I did fiddle with his face. You can see the lines are a little rounded out. That's because I whited out with a little zebra G-nib Optimus's face because I didn't get it quite right. But yeah, also love the timing on this page. Very happy with this page, more so than the previous two. And let's go to the next one. Let's see if it'll... I'm trying something new. Come on, baby. Yes? There we go. So, thank you, Soundwave. I hope I keep drawing covers for the series too. Victor, was Spike modeled after me at all? At all? No, not really. I did play with one design of Spike, which kind of looked like me as a kid, but it just felt a little weird. So I was like, I'm not going to do that. But I did think about it. Thank you, Jeremy. Also, Rudak, yes, thank you for shouting out Mike Spicer. Really accentuated the depth of the forest. Great lighting. I wanted to set up a camera to my right here, showing the actual like printed page that has Mike's colors in it, but my computer cannot handle two HDMI cameras happening at one time, and my webcam is way over there. So long story. Mike, I love you. You did an amazing job. We're going black and white today, just because I don't have the gear. This computer's from 2015, so it's been giving me some headaches. We'll see if it's time for an upgrade sooner rather than later. We'll see. But yeah, so this page, let's get in here on this detail. You can see this is loosely modeled after the Cybertron that we see in the 1986 movie. Surprise, surprise. I didn't know how much I wanted to show of Cybertron. Ooh, I should have gotten rid of that tone there. But for story reasons, but I figured, get a nice big shot. I used a dinner plate to draw this large sphere, and then just kind of riffed for the rest of it. And this is all screen tone. You can see this here with a little bit of highlights. I call these the Akira highlights. You know that video of the lady dotting the background of the Akira cells. So definitely doing that here. Struggled with Optimus's faceplate here, but I think I got it right. Yeah, so there's so much going on here. It's like very detailed. I wanted to make it pretty sparse. So we got one of my favorite Autobots here, Beachcomber, who is seemingly dying. Can't say more about that. And here is another great panel, one of my favorite panels in issue 2. He who shall not be shown, I suppose. Have no fear. He does exist, just not in these issues yet. So keep your eyes peeled. Thanks, Elvin. Thank you, Keith. Keith really likes the Megatron panel. Has a Doom/evil feel. I really appreciate that. I wanted to have this panel be way bigger, but I basically had to choose between Big Cybertron or Big Megatron. I did not want to do like an equal, make this a little bit smaller and make Megatron a little bit bigger. Just didn't seem to work. So this central image really helped tie the page together, and I'm very, very happy with it still. I part of me wishes like I had extended the Earth down like this, or maybe like even if it was just at the side, but it's fine. It does really work as a single image, so we'll call it a win. And here we got another. This is a pain. This panel. My God. This panel took forever. Let me tell you, Transformers, doing anything like choking each other out, or putting in submission moves, or holding them down, having to really actually touch in any way, shape, or form is very difficult. I was wrestling for so long with how to get Megatron over Optimus and not make it look awkward. And so you see me figuring out, there's a difference here. You got Optimus's hand is on Megatron's hand here, but when trying to draw this out, it didn't work at all. It just looked so weird. So then I was like, okay, I'll give him his energy axe, and I'll put it over to the right, and then I'll make this shape kind of cross over, being at Megatron's knee. I just remember the sweat I put into this. This panel up here is awesome. Look at that arc. So great. Blasting off. Really fun. I do really like the way this one came out, but holy cow, this was so much work. So appreciate this panel, please, because the sweat, the time and energy to make this all work. And poor Mike, this is Optimus's leg right here, his white leg, and Mike kept coloring it different colors that were not his leg, and I had to be like, Mike, no, it's his white part of his leg. He's because he was coloring it blue. First he colored it red, then he colored it gray, then he colored it blue, and I was like, it's the white part of his leg. So poor Mike, he's got to try and figure out what is what here too. So one of the biggest challenges of drawing Transformers for sure. Not a huge deal, but something to think about. I do really like the timing of these panels. It's good. It's good. A lot of info dumping here, but hopefully in a way that is fresh and fun. Let's see, and of course we have. Sorry, hold on. There we go. Cliff Jumper. Moved a few things around here. I think here we have a little bit of a. Oh, you can't see it because of my face is in the way, but sometimes I will change things on the fly. but this is not too bad. Yeah, I didn't have any notes from Hasbro about the art, uh, except they didn't like this leg for some reason. I think I had to change this leg, but I can't remember what I had to do. They didn't have any notes on anything else. I was still figuring out how to draw the Autobot logo correctly and the Decepticon logo. So I'd get notes on those. But they didn't like this leg, so I had to fix this leg, but I can't really remember why. It was just a random one. I do like Cliffjumper's face here. This is a great one. And I like Carly. I'm happy with this bit of dialogue. Oh, this is a great panel too. I really like. He looks so innocent here, you know. But I really like Carly going off on Cliffjumper here, and poor Russ. Again, we have to apologize. I need like a banner across the screen every time I do this on these director commentaries, but Russ Wooten having to figure out where to put these darn speech balloons. I don't think you wanted to cover the plane, like the foreground and the background plane, so when we first did it, this like big speech balloon of Carly going off on Cliffjumper was like right over her legs, and I was like, hey, I know this is like a cardinal sin, Russ, let's move it over to this part, you know, and we'll have a crossover. Sorry, dude. So he is a pro. He gets it done. I am trying to be better. This, I think, is my favorite panel in the book, in issue 2. Oh, Tyrell is in the house. I know, Esquivio art. How dare they question thee? It was an easy fix. It's just funny. How did I decide on drawing Spike from Comic Tropes? How did I draw? I was trying to draw somebody. I really like drawing characters with like really large ears, because I love drawing ears. So there was one excuse, and I wanted to try and make him look kind of like racially ambiguous. So there was that. Other than that, you know, I was with the kind of jacket, like the people say, like the Marty McFly jacket. I just really like drawing those kinds of jackets. I'm not necessarily trying to go for an 80s vibe, but it just felt right. So I was trying to just come up with something that felt natural. And that's kind of what you got there, was the design of Spike. Right on, Jordan. He's got your nose. We got some 3-point perspective going on here. Notice this very slight 3-point perspective grid we got here. Had to change the scale of some things, obviously. But, you know, in thumbnails, I don't like to make things look too perfect because I am not penciling during this stage. I'm just getting everything in order, making sure it looks right, getting some shapes, getting some foreground here with the chains, and just the layout of everything. Also, I never thought that Optimus's trailer was used enough in all the TF stories that I saw. I always loved that trailer. It's like, this is like a direct shout out to the toy of like this little robot that we don't really see that often in the show, in the cartoon, in the movie, in the comics, at least in the Marvel comics that I'm most familiar with. So just definitely wanted to show that in this like tiny little race car, you know, all secondary stuff when it comes to the toy. I mean, like, we're really here for Optimus, but since they kind of are escaping from the Ark, it's was kind of important to me that they have a new base with still some Cybertronian tech, so that's why this is here. And Optimus's drawing of Optimus is just perfect. It's like, it's all brush, and it's just right. His head maybe is a tiny bit big, but whatever. I'm going to still take the win. This is a solid win. So fun. Love it. Optimus is still hard to draw, as much as I wish it was not so. Danny Rodriguez, so you admit that this series takes place in the 80s. No, this series does not take place in the 80s, doesn't take place during present day. It takes place when it takes place. It's just part of the story. It's just, you know, it's like, I don't really want to draw cell phones, but there's still technology that maybe exists that we use today. So, it's just, I find that it doesn't really matter when things take place. That, to me, especially in like fiction, like Transformers or stuff with like big robots fighting, a lot of that stuff is surface level anyway. So it's more about the characters, the motivations, the emotions, the action, the fun that you get to have with these characters. Nobody cares if they're pulling out their cell phone and taking a picture or something. So it's just another story beat that you have to worry about that I have no desire to do. And yeah, that's why. So here, I was trying to give Carly some personality, and also later on in the issue, it's important story-wise that Laserbeak finds Carly. Otherwise, the story has trouble progressing, and this matters in issue 3, which I will not give away. But Laserbeak somehow needed to follow Carly, and I was like racking my head. I was like, why would he follow Carly from the Autobot base? Like, what would give him a reason to follow this heavy metal van where he would probably just like leave it and go look at something else? So I was like, well, what if Carly was like an artist and she painted on her heavy metal van a picture of Optimus Prime, which like would obviously attract the attention of an evil Decepticon. So that was written in this right here. Her working with the airbrush was directly just so that I would have a fun way for Carly to have to be followed by a bad guy. And I drew the heck out of this airbrush. I do love airbrushes. Drawing Optimus here. It's a very subtle detail, but of course it's important. You notice Dragon Wagon, little Murder Falcon reference there. This is a little crowded. This is a little bit of a mess here. Did my best. What are you gonna do? Getting a little tired having to draw all these characters all the time. But hey, Oh, sorry. Okay, so let's go to this next page. Thanks, Dad. He likes the view of the van. So we've got I know what you're all thinking. Is this actually Prowl? And I have no comment. Okay, maybe it'll transform into Prowl in like issue 20. Maybe it won't. Okay, who knows? I'm not going to pretend that this isn't the car that Prowl drives, or that is Prowl. But that's all I can say about that. So maybe I'm just swerving you. You have no idea. This is what I really like about Transformers. I'm playing with your expectations. You have no idea truly what's coming. Definitely have to fit in as many instances of the word robot as possible, which I definitely did here. This square panel was not fun to draw. It's just like one big info panel. Somebody has to be freaking out. Somebody has to be dead, getting carried away. There needs to be police. There needs to have all this like things wrong with it. It could have gone a lot worse. I do like this panel a lot. I think it's pretty awesome. This panel here. Sometimes you work so hard on something and it just does not come out. That's all I have to say about that. We're gonna move on because it just makes me mad looking at it. It's just sometimes you win some and you lose some, guys, and that's definitely a lose. I know I feel like a lot of you guys may think it's really awesome, and that I'm so happy, and I don't want to put down my own artwork, but I have to be honest. That panel just makes me crazy. Thank you, Ryan. I'm not fishing for people to make me feel better. I just was like, it was a rough day. I remember that day. Bad day. Transitioning into a rescue panel, rescue page. This right here. This is my jam. I love this panel. I love that. I just got it right. It just looks right. And talk about a MacGuffin. Having to draw like this technological thing that can like harvest energy. We're all doing our best here. I'm writing genre fiction. I'm writing the Transformers. We got to find a way to get Energon. I got to figure out a way to make this work. I'm under a deadline. I'm writing a script. You got some great ideas. You got some whatever ideas. Here we've got this like Energon harvester that's just like totally random. And I was like, yeah, this is an Autobots arc. So, don't want to give away the trade secrets too much, but what can I say? Uh, this is like a bit of a way to get me out of trouble because I was like, I'm not sure how they're going to get Energon. I guess I'll draw something that looks relatively cool. Definitely did not realize that these look like the Scream canisters from Monsters Incorporated. There is no originality anymore. I don't know. I'm doing my best here. Another instance of poor Russ having to put a balloon over this massive device with like no room for sorry. It's so silly. I'm sorry, Russ. Again, I'm sorry. I keep saying I'm gonna be better and then I'm not. I really need, this is something I need to work on. Soundwave, he's got some things he's got to say for us to understand what this monstrosity is. And there's just no room because I'm an idiot. I do like this panel a lot. This was meant to be Skywarp that was smushing this cop. But Mike accidentally colored it Starscream, and I was like, it actually doesn't matter, so I didn't make him change it. Thank you, Red. I like this. Notice my a few different changes here. Just needed some more like info here, like so turning on the power for this device, then the like the screen canisters. Oh, am I freezing? Oh, dang it. Oh, poo. Let's see if I can. Little glitchy. Oh, come on. Oh, okay. Let me know if everybody can see me. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, people can hear me. Frozen, but audio works. Sorry, guys. My poor computer. Or my poor internet connection. Still frozen. Okay. Completely frozen. Yes. Awesome. That's okay. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Okay, well, you can still hear me. All right, working on a solution. Voice occasionally. All right. Sorry, everyone. Cold screen, hot mic. All right, I'm going to try and switch my router again. 1 sec, everyone. I'm so sorry. Gosh darn it. Video is back. It's smooth. I'm waving my hand. Slower frame rate. Shoot. Okay, well, luckily I'm not playing video games. You know what I think's going on? My wife and my daughter are watching Kids Great British Baking Show. My internet's probably getting taxed. I'm so sorry, everyone. I apologize. You know what it is? It's punishment for me making Russ letter this page. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we're back. I'm going to keep an eye on the chat just to make sure. We see you. Awesome. Awesome. A plate of snacks. Yes, my messy plate for lunch that I have not cleaned up yet. All right, so let's get back to it. Here we have one of my favorite lines in the issue where Skywarp says, "It's working. Chug, chug, chug." Yeah, it's fine. You don't even really need my face. I'm just here. It's almost like a podcast with visual, like a visual thing with it. All right, let's go to the next page. I love jet planes, and this is all about the jet planes. I love this. I love this page. I love this scene. It was requested to me by Skybound that I include a some sort of interaction between, which we now, spoiler alert, know is Duke and Starscream. Yeah, Russ is over there like hacking into my mainframe. Sorry, Russ. And I had to come up, when you're writing, these scenes like this where it's like a character like Frosting that is not going to be around for that long, you're just kind of riffing, and I was like, well, what would be a cool call sign? And I just was like, I was like looking in my freezer, and my wife makes a lot of cupcakes, thanks be to God. And so she makes so many cupcakes. She actually makes a bunch of frosting at a time, and she'll freeze what she doesn't use. And I saw that frosting in the freezer, and I was like, frosting would be a great, great call sign. And now so we have frosting. Drew the heck out of this plane. Love drawing planes. They're so hard. Drawing equal like wings. So tough. Another panel with not enough room for Russ. But I really like the way it's drawn. Not quite enough room for the dialogue here again. Sorry, Russ. I get too excited and I forget. F-18. This is the F-18. Let me see if I can remember. There's two. The F-18D. This is the old F-18 from Independence Day. The F-18D has a square exhaust opening. And I wanted to go old school. So I am a nerd. This was tough here. I wanted to show a cool way of Starscream kind of pulling around behind. And this is the best that I could come up with. But I don't love this. But I do love this panel. I love this panel. And I love this panel. Little details that you never think to draw on a plane. Like this little, I don't know what you call that. The little lip that sticks out. And yeah, it's a good time. I do love this right here. We got a tangent here, which is no good, but the yank. This makes me think of Top Gun. Yeah, dude. Beep, 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 beep. Just a good time. Another one of my favorite panels in the book, right here. It's funny. It's like Starscream is a little too small. If I were to design this page, if I would probably do this page differently. I would keep this, but I would make Starscream bigger in both panels because he's just not quite big enough here. I do like the page a lot. I don't know. It's such a cool scene, I can't help but think about how I do it differently next time. But I do really like this page, and definitely accurate. I looked where the eject handles are. I was initially drew the scene like this, where he's the Top Gun style, whereas the newer planes you pull from the in between the legs. So yeah, good times. I'm such a nerd. But hey, you don't get to draw fighter jets all that often. I love drawing tech like that. So really fun. Here is this actually I inked this on a Friday with D-Dubs. Really happy with this here. This panel still, it's not perfect, but it's better than what we had. You can look back. It's months and months ago, Friday with D-Dubs, me re-inking this. And yeah, just doing my best, but yeah, this whole page, it's a lot of logistical stuff. Starscream's got to look back, see Duke, fly to him. So this page, we're moving on. This page I like a lot. This is fun. I had to come up with a jetpack design on the fly. I literally designed it on the fly. And I remember Robert. So Robert was had kind of some oversight over this scene, and he said hey, it's really important that Duke seems cool, he can handle himself in a fight, even though he's just a regular pilot. He needs to seem really badass. And so I was well, what if he shot Starscream in the face with a flare gun, and thinking on his feet. And I do like this a lot. And I don't do this very often. This triple face in frame, but it works, and it gets the job done. So if I could have everything my way, I would definitely have more time for Frosting to get away and have a bit more of an extended chase, and maybe he hides behind some sort of mountain or outcropping or something. But I didn't have time. There's only 20 pages, so yeah. All right. Oh, and then let's see. I think what I have to do So I remember I did like a bunch of pages in the thumbnails. Let's see. I did a bunch of pages in the thumbnails, and then I stopped the thumbnails because I had to start drawing for some reason. Let me get. Let me pull up the rest of the thumbnails here. Sorry. My apologies. I should have had this ready to go. Here we go. Okay. So here's another shot from my drawing from my on like my actual script and taking a picture, dropping it in. I do really like this. I love this, like, come back, I want to be your friend kind of vibe. It cracks me up. And I don't know why I didn't put his hand in here. His hand's here and it's not here. It kind of bothers me. This is the perfect panel and it didn't translate here. So I think what I needed to do is I probably should have inked off of something more like this, but yeah. I don't know. It just doesn't. This panel, it doesn't capture the energy that this has. What are you gonna do? And we love Skywarp being a bit of a lovable idiot. And this drawing. Oh, look at that! It's just like perfect. I love drawing cars well. Hello, Victor, Jason. Uh, right on. Jordan says, "I love reading the panel after seeing you draw it months ago. I love reading that panel after seeing you draw it months ago. Makes me feel like we get to be a part of the behind the scenes." I can't show a bunch of stuff from Transformers because I want to be very respectful of, keeping things a secret until they're meant to be. But Starscream squishing somebody. That's universal. That's not necessarily a spoiler. That's just Starscream. So I made a few changes on this page. Maybe not that many. Oh yeah, I had Cliffjumper saying one of the lines that I just ended up giving to Optimus because I didn't want to draw Cliffjumper. But I really like this. I like this panel a lot. Notice I'm learning how to draw Optimus Prime's legs a little better. Notice they don't flare out. It's personal preference. I just cannot bring myself to draw wider legs. I know this is probably something that only I will notice, but it is there. This is a great Optimus face that I drew perfectly the first time with like no whiteout. Yeah, pretty cool. So yeah, you gotta take a win. This is and here we have Optimus transforming. And this is the first time I really tried to make it intentional. Like, I don't know. Like, I really wanted this to be cool. So I just drew the heck out of it. I gotta be honest. I was never a fan of, like, I was not a fan of, like, in the Marvel comics when it would be, like, either Optimus in robot form having just transformed with a bunch of lines. Just, like random, like, parallel lines against his body, implying that he just finished transforming, or the opposite where he's like a truck and there's just a bunch of lines. And it's just like, it just feels so just feels like a missed opportunity. Or in some of the like IDW comics where it's like they don't really draw transforming much at all. So I was like, well, it's a huge part of the vibe. I want to like draw it, and it's also really fun to get like really out there with it. Like just make things look weird in passing, and like an opportunity to like show some really fun tech that's a little messier than what the G1 design's really known for. So, let's see. Yeah, so I really like this. I love the door here. Great face. Great body language on Carly. Subtly like pulling her boyfriend, and things are getting a little crazier and a little crazier. Takes off on the dragon wagon. And here we've got some fun. As I said before, the Skywarp seeing the Optimus Prime. And here's just a big old thing of tone over this panel. Some tone over a highway. Highways are crazy hard to draw. I like this cast shadow up here. It's one of my favorite parts of the page. Is this tiny little cast shadow. And here we've got Sparky looking for Spike. Doesn't find him and gets a determined look. He's going to find his kiddo. And I did change some things around here. I wanted a more central image. This page was really tough. People in helmets, why are they so hard to draw? I did my best. So, also like just drawing living rooms. Like living rooms can be really tough to draw. Something I got to get better at actually. If I ever do like a crime comic, I'm gonna get better at drawing living rooms. That's a challenge that I need to, I need to challenge myself in that. So, let me switch my camera. Yet another issue. Director's commentary complete. I hope you gained a little bit of insights. I hope this was fun. I'm so sorry for the technical problems in the middle. Sorry, I'm getting all lost. Okay. I'm like looking at different things on the screen than what I've got right now. Oh. I'm so bad at technology, guys. It's terrible. But we're here. We're doing it. We're making it work little by little. I want to thank everybody for being here. It is now 8:30 on the dot. I was hoping this would take just about an hour. I didn't want to take too much longer because my wife made pie and I really want to hang out with my family. So I'm going to dip. Thank you everybody for being here. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for ordering Transformers issue number 2. Issue 3 is right around the corner. I just got my comps. It looks fantastic. If I do say so myself. I love issue 3. I'm so happy with it. I worked so hard on it. I worked hard on all of this stuff, but issue 2, still getting the feel, still getting the vibe with the characters, figuring out how to make it work, figuring out how to make it look good, how to make it look just smooth and effortless, which doesn't usually happen until like issue 5, and especially like issue 6 when then it's over, and then like my time on that book art-wise is over. So, always trying to do my best, but it, you know how I am. Thanks everybody. You're all the best. Check out Friday with D-Dubs. I'll be live again on Friday, going over my Japan trip. I did a sketchbook of my Japan travels, which I cannot wait to show people. Might even do some finishing off drawings in that sketchbook.